Hello students. So I'm again here with new questions, 10 questions only. But these you cannot miss. Whether you're in first years or you're in second years, you have to go through these questions because this is from chapter photosynthesis. See, you would have seen anytime, means as a teacher, as a lecturer, I have seen students whenever I start talking about photosynthesis, madam, please ask some other questions. Like they take the everything in biology as fun. They will be happy to do it. But when it comes to photosynthesis, they say, ma'am, don't want, ma'am, please, ma'am. The reason is not your problem, it is. Maybe we have got, or we have given you some information that biology is only something about description. It's not so. Actually, photosynthesis and plant respiration, because there is cellular respiration, they are all the subjects containing lot of biochemical reactions. Lot of researchers worked on it. Therefore, this chapter needs a special way of learning it. Okay. So, photosynthesis as a whole, it is the preparation of carbohydrates in green parts of the plant using carbon dioxide and water as raw materials in presence of sun energy. It's a conversion of radiant energy into chemical energy. So here energy transactions in living cells happen through ATP, right? Adenosine triphosphate, we call it as a currency of a cell, where adenosine triphosphate, whenever it breaks, it forms ADP, adenosine diphosphate, and inorganic phosphate, and energy is released in the bond, right? Then whenever energy comes out from any reaction, it will be taken up by ADP to combine with phosphate group to form adenosine triphosphate. So energy is involved in it, right? This ATP is normally called as currency because it will be normally kept stored in mitochondria. Okay, so in photosynthesis and respiration, you keep counting how many ATPs are formed or released and all that, right? Let's begin with the questions. I will share the slides of 10 questions which you cannot miss. Okay, these are the questions which are the base and the heart of photosynthesis, and they have been asked previously in many examinations. Let's start with it. Fine, let's begin. Let me share this. Okay, okay, this is the thing. Observe, this is a photosynthesis in higher plants. This is me, Dr. Hemlata. So let's begin with the first question. How many ATPs and NADPH2 are required for the synthesis of one molecule of glucose during Calvin cycle? See here, you have to remember Calvin cycle is a dark reaction. This everybody knows. In Calvin cycle, normally what happens? There are C6H12O6 has to be formed from carbon dioxide. So CO2 has one carbon. C6H12O6, that is glucose, has 6 carbons. So once to form one glucose, you need minimum 6 carbon, right? So there are 6 carbon dioxide molecules required, right? And in one cycle, you would have seen there are totally how many ATPs? 6. In reactions you would have observed, totally 12 ATPs are released, formed, required. But there is a regeneration of RUDP because first it is accepting RUDP accepts the carbon dioxide. So you need 12 plus the remaining how many? 6. 12, 6, right? 18 ATPs are required. But NADPH2 only 12 are required, right? You just go through the cycle, the Calvin cycle, you will understand. So the answer should be, it should be what I told you, 12 ATPs and 18 NADH2. 18 in ATPs and 12 NADH2. Just now I told you because there is regeneration of RUDP where you require ATPs. So answer should be A. Now let's move on to next. Reaction center in PS2 has an absorption maximum at NEET 2023 test come. So at PS2, photosystem 2, what is the absorption of light energy? You know that PS2 is called as P 680. That means it is photosystem 2 requiring the light energy or light of absorption around 680 nanometer wavelength. So chlorophyll A absorbs 680 nanometer wavelength. So it should be option D. Whereas if you think of PS1, it requires 700, right? That's a long wavelength driven photosystem. This is a short wavelength driven photosystem. PS1 is cyclic. If it goes to PS1, it comes cycle back. Electrons excited return back to the reaction center. But in PS2, whenever light falls on it, the electrons excited will go in non-cyclic path to form NADPH2. I'm sorry. So this actually PS2 is a non-cyclic path. It forms Zudsky. Okay, that's understood now. Let's go ahead. Next question. So this is the PS2. Next question. This is which of the following is not true regarding the release of energy during ATP synthesis through chemiosmosis, right? So now the question is what is chemiosmosis? So here whenever in that is about the non-cyclic pathway when electrons are passing, what happens is there is a creation of proton gradient in the lumen of thylakoid, right, with the stroma. Therefore, a lot of protons are there deposited inside. They will have gradient. They will try to push the protons out, during which ATPs are formed. That is chemiosmotic hypothesis. It was asked in 2022. So, one of the following is not correct regarding release of energy during ATP synthesis through chemiosmosis. First thing says that development of proton gradient. It happens, I told you. It develops proton gradient. Second is development of electron gradient. Third one is movement of protons across the membrane to the stroma. Next is reduction of NADP to NADPH2 in the stroma. That is also correct. Stroma membrane. So what is then answer? It should be B. What is B? Development of electron gradient will not happen because it's only proton gradient happening. Okay. So next, the first stable carbon compound produced in carbon fixation in sorghum. See, understand sorghum is a C4 plant. Whereas purposely they will ask the name of the plant. That sorghum is uh, Cran's anatomy. It shows Cran's anatomy. It is C4 plant. Okay. So it should be C4 pathway. In C4 pathway, which is the stable compound found, first is saying succinic acid, next is saying PGA, phosphoglyceric acid, next is pyruvic acid, then it is oxaloacetic acid. It should be oxaloacetic acid, right? Because first acceptor is phosphoenol pyruvate, takes carbon dioxide, form a 4-carbon compound, that is oxaloacetic acid. So answer should be the D option, that is oxaloacetic acid. Next comes the oxygenation activity of Rubisco enzyme in photorespiration leads to the formation of, see, this is one of the big problem in C3 plants. That is Rubisco. Its long form is ribulose bisphosphate carboxylase oxygenase. That's a long form. It will undergo, it helps in carboxylation, fixing carbon dioxide, and it undergo oxygenation also. It depends upon how much is carbon dioxide, how much is oxygen. So if it undergo oxidation, this will undergo photorespiration. This results in no formation of 2-PGA, normal Calvin cycle. When RUDP accepts carbon dioxide in presence of Rubisco, it forms 2 molecules of phosphoglyceric acid. But in this, it forms 1 phosphoglyceric acid and 1,2-carbon compound. So therefore, due to which there is no any formation of glucose in this. It's a waste process in the plant, right? Therefore, C3 plants have a lot of problems with this, right? Then what is the answer? First says 1 molecule of C6 compound, 6-carbon compound. It is wrong, right? 1 molecule of 4-carbon compound, 1 molecule of 2-carbon. No. 2 molecules of 3-carbon compounds. I told you in C3 cycle it happens, but it is in photorespiration. What happens? 1 molecule of 3-carbon PGA is formed. one molecule of two carbon compound is formed, right? Therefore, option should be D. Okay. Next, in chloroplasts, the highest number of protons found in where are they present? Highest number of protons, stroma, lumen of thylakoid, intermembrane space, antenna complex. This I have already explained you. So there again I don't want to waste. It should be B option, that is in the lumen of thylakoid. That's why I told you proton gradient is formed, due to which when protons start moving out through ATP synthase, uh, there will be gradient and it forms ATPs. Next, in photosynthesis, the light independent reaction takes place at, right? Light independent means dark reaction. Where it happens? In photosynthesis, thylakoid lumen, photosystem 1, photosystem 2, stroma matrix. It should be in the matrix of the stroma, liquid part of this, right? Chloroplast will have thylakoids, all thylakoids, and the membrane system is involved in photosynthesis in light reaction. So dark reactions happen in the stroma, right? So answer should be D. Next question. Cyclic photophosphorylation results in the formation of, 2009 it has been asked. Cyclic photophosphorylation is the electrons after photoexcitation from the PS1, after passing through electron carriers return back to the reaction center, that is called cyclic, right? It results in the formation of only ATPs. And so ATP, NADH to ATP, NADH, DPH, and ATP, NADPH, and oxygen. No, cyclic, there is no NADPH nor oxygen. In cyclic, only ATPs are formed. So answer should be A. Okay, next. In photosystem 1, the first electron acceptor is PS1, which will accept when there is a photosystem 1 P700. It gets the photons of light. The all accessory pigments push the light in the right energy to the center, reaction center. It excites the electron, and electron jumps out of this orbital and will be accepted. Who is acceptor? Ferredoxin, cytochrome, plastocyanin. It is an iron sulfur protein. It is a first acceptor. It has to be known, right? So answer should be D. Next. In C3 plants, the first stable product of photosynthesis during dark reaction is phosphoglyceric acid. See, Kelvin cycle by heart. You have to by heart. Carbon dioxide is accepted by, that is a ribulose diphosphate or biphosphate, RUDP. RUDP splits into two molecules of phosphoglyceric acid, PGA. PGA become 1,3-DPGA, diphosphoglyceric acid, then becomes phosphoglyceraldehyde and DHAP. Then phosphoglyceraldehyde, PGAL, will combine to condensation to form fructose 1,6 diphosphate, then to fructose 6 phosphate, then glucose 6 phosphate and glucose. Then fructose 6 phosphate is regenerating the RUDP. This is the story. Kelvin cycle out by heart, right? How ATP is absorbed, how ATPs are utilized, and NADPH2 are utilized, you should know in the cycle, right? So it should be phosphoglyceric acid, that is the B option. Okay, it is B. That's about the photosynthesis. In short, I have explained you. Go through the NEET book, NCERT textbook, and the cycle is there with you. By heart cycle, cyclic phosphorylation, non-cyclic photophosphorylation, Calvin cycle, and C4 cycle. Then Blackman's law of limiting factors are very important. I am giving you clue what to study. Already I have given main questions which have been asked. Now it is in your hands how much seriously you study. Now I have given you how serious is this. Okay. I hope it will be very nice. Although you have got PU results now, NEET is the next target. Go crack it. Okay. Okay. Let me stop sharing it. Okay, did you get all the answers? And if you're not got, you can ask me questions in the comment section, or else you just tell me you want me to do another. I will do another some more questions I will solve, or I'll do theory part of it if you want. Okay, so I hope this chapter you never miss it. This is the chapter for intelligent students, scorers, and rank holders. Okay, all the best. Bye.